Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take some really incredible insights, pull them apart, and try to distill them down into the most important nuggets for you.
That's the plan.
And today, we're plunging into a topic that, well, for far too many of us, it carries this quiet, persistent sense of dread. Hair loss.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows that feeling.
You know it, right? That little jolt of panic when you see more hair than usual clinging to the shower drain? Or just that subtle thinning you notice maybe every morning in the mirror?
It's a universal anxiety, absolutely. A deeply emotional thing for millions who just feel increasingly helpless.
And maybe you've spent, I don't know, a small fortune on supplements, only to find they deliver, empty promises.
Or your doctor just gives you that sympathetic shrug and says, it's just genetics, part of getting older. Heard that one a lot.
Exactly. But what if those conventional narratives are actually missing the entire point? What if the story you've been told about your hair loss is fundamentally incomplete? Or, maybe even outright wrong? This deep dive is going to challenge those ingrained ideas. We want to offer a truly groundbreaking perspective, rooted in the very fabric of your cellular health. Okay, let's unpack this.
And we absolutely will unpack it. This deep dive, it builds directly on the foundational principles of bioenergetics. That's a framework made popular by the pioneering work of Dr. Ray Peat, which we explore pretty extensively in our main Metabolic Revolution podcast.
Right.
And specifically, we're pulling from some really insightful discussions and clinical observations shared by the team at BioSpark Health, particularly from the perspective offered by their medical team, like Dr. Steve Presciuti.
Okay.
These insights, they don't just offer new treatments, they fundamentally dismantle common myths that have left so many people feeling helpless and just sort of resigned to their fate.
Yeah.
The core premise we'll explore today is, well, it's truly revolutionary. Hair loss isn't primarily about your genes, and it's certainly not about simply blocking hormones. It's about cellular energy. It's about your overall metabolic health.
That's a powerful distinction, isn't it? And it changes everything. Our mission here at the Deep Dive is basically to give you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed, giving you those surprising facts, connecting the dots in ways you might not expect, and offering actionable insights that can genuinely change your perspective, not just on your hair, actually, but on your overall vitality.
Absolutely.
Just a quick but incredibly important note here. Everything we discuss today is purely educational content. It's not medical advice. Your individual health journey is unique, it's deeply personal, so please always consult with a qualified healthcare provider, ideally one who understands these metabolic principles, before making any significant changes.
Crucial point.
But be ready, because we're about to set the stage for a complete paradigm shift in how you understand something as seemingly simple yet profoundly complex as hair loss.
Let's do it.
So let's just jump right into challenging that dominant narrative. For years, if you've seen your hair thinning or receding, the pervasive wisdom has been, well, it's mostly just bad luck in the genetic lottery.
Right, the old blame your dad excuse.
Exactly. Your dad was bald, your grandpa was bald, so you're next. It's a convenient explanation, right? Gives you a sense of resignation, but also a sense of powerlessness.
Yeah, like there's nothing you can do.
But what if that's not just an incomplete story, but actually a misleading one? What if, as the insights from BioSpark Health suggest, the real underlying cause has absolutely nothing to do with your genetics and everything to do with the fundamental energy production within your cells?
Now that's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, deeply empowering.
Let me share an anecdote. It might sound painfully familiar to many of you listening right now. There was this guy, Michael, 32 years old, started noticing his hairline receding faster than he ever thought possible.
Yeah, that quick onset can be scary.
Totally. So naturally, he spiraled into a quiet panic. He did what millions of men are told to do. He jumped headfirst into the conventional treatment.
The usual suspect.
The usual suspects. Started taking finasteride, vigorously applying minoxidil to his scalp, religiously popping biotin supplements, washing his hair with every special shampoo. Yeah, you know the drill.
Spending a lot of money, too, I bet.
He was spending around $300 a month, a significant chunk of change, right? Hoping to stem the tide, hoping to reclaim a bit of his youth, his confidence.
Understandable.
6 months into this exhausting, expensive regimen, not only was his hair still falling out just as quickly, but now he was also experiencing these debilitating side effects.
Oh, no. What kind of things?
Zero libido, a brain fog so thick he struggled to focus at work, and this profound sense of depression that just cast a shadow over everything.
Wow. That's brutal. So the treatment was worse than the problem, almost.
Exactly. And his conventional doctor, without much deeper investigation, just blamed his genetics. His dermatologist pointed the finger at DHT, dihydrotestosterone, the universally accepted villain.
Of course, DH.
And the internet, naturally, was brimming with advice about hormone-blocking drugs. But as we're learning through this bioenergetic lens, they were all missing the crucial fundamental point.
What's truly fascinating here is how Michael's situation and countless others like it that we've seen, they vividly illustrate this fundamental misunderstanding about the body.
Right.
When the Biospark team, particularly Dr. Prasiuti, first assessed Michael, they didn't immediately jump to examining his scalp or prescribing more drugs. The first actions were much more fundamental.
Like what?
Well, first, they took Michael's temperature, and it was concerningly low, 96.8 Fahrenheit. That's a clear indicator of a sluggish metabolism right there.
Okay, wow, so below normal.
Way below optimal. Then they delved into his daily habits. He was on a strict low-carb diet, often combined with intermittent fasting and chronic calorie restriction.
Sounds like a lot of healthy advice people follow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Patterns commonly adopted by people trying to be healthy by conventional wisdom, yet they are profoundly stressful for the body. Michael's cortisol levels, 3 times normal, screaming chronic stress.
Right.
And his thyroid markers were in the basement, signaling severe metabolic suppression. So this initial thorough assessment, it didn't just reveal symptoms, it revealed a critical insight.
Which was?
Michael's hair wasn't falling out because of some predetermined genetic destiny or a rogue hormone. His hair follicles were, quite literally, too energy depleted to sustain the incredibly demanding process of hair growth.
Too energy depleted, so like running on empty.
Precisely. Think about this for a moment. Hair follicles are among the most metabolically active tissues in your entire body. The hair growth cycle, anagen, telogen, it's a continuous, rapid process. Cell division, protein synthesis, it's intense.
It's a lot of fuel.
It requires a massive, uninterrupted supply of cellular energy. We're talking about ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the actual energy currency your cells use for everything, including building hair. So, when your overall metabolism tanks, when your body isn't producing enough ATP, hair growth immediately becomes one of the very first luxuries your body sacrifices.
Ah, a luxury item.
Basically, yeah. It's an early warning system, like the canary in the coal mine, signaling your body is in an energy deficit.
Exactly. It's an evolutionary perspective that makes perfect, stark sense if you really think about it. Imagine your body in survival mode, perceiving itself as being under profound metabolic stress.
Whether that's from not enough calories or chronic stress or even too much exercise.
Right. In that scenario, your body has this ancient primal imperative. Prioritize immediate survival. Is growing a full, luscious head of hair essential for immediate survival?
Not really, no.
Absolutely not. In fact, it's energetically expensive. So your body will rationally, ruthlessly funnel its precious limited energy resources towards truly vital functions, keeping your core temperature up, make sure your heart works, basic brain stuff.
Makes sense. Keep the lights on.
Keep the lights on. Hair growth, in this context, becomes something the body simply cannot afford. It's a luxury that gets cut from the budget when resources are scarce. Just like Michael's body was cutting his libido and cognitive function.
It's all connected.
This fundamental understanding is why addressing that underlying energy deficit isn't just a good idea. It's absolutely crucial for any lasting solution to hair loss.
I couldn't agree more.
Which brings us neatly to DHT.
Yes. Now let's tackle one of the biggest, most enduring villains in the conventional hair loss story. Dihydrotestosterone, DHT. For decades, the common belief, the one you hear everywhere, is that DHT is the undisputed primary culprit in male pattern baldness.
Right. The follicle shrinker.
That's the narrative. It supposedly miniaturizes hair follicles relentlessly, causing them to shrink progressively and eventually stop producing hair altogether. This story has been incredibly powerful. It led to drugs like finasteride, designed specifically to block DHT production.
Yep, block the villain. But is this truly the full, accurate picture? Or is there, a more nuanced bioenergetic truth waiting to be uncovered?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture of bioenergetics and a deeper understanding of physiology, we find that the conventional DHT narrative is, well, it's not just incomplete, it's deeply flawed.
How so?
The counter-narrative, supported by this more nuanced view, reveals that DHT is actually a profoundly protective hormone in many significant ways.
Protective. That's the opposite of what we hear.
I know, right? It's a more potent androgen than testosterone.
Mm.
That means it plays a crucial, powerful role in supporting a wide array of essential male functions. We're talking robust mood, healthy libido, maintaining muscle mass, bone density, even optimal cognitive function.
Wow. So blocking it, not ideal.
Blocking it indiscriminately, as many conventional treatments do, has profound negative systemic consequences. We'll definitely get more into that shortly.
Okay.
So instead of just accepting the conventional wisdom and asking, how do we block DHT to save our hair? A more intelligent, metabolically informed question would be, why are some hair follicles becoming hypersensitive to what are otherwise perfectly normal, healthy levels of hormones?
That flips the script completely.
It totally does. And the answer, as the insights from BioSpark consistently demonstrate, is metabolic dysfunction. When your cells, including those incredibly active cells in your hair follicles, don't have enough cellular energy, that precious ATP, they become exquisitely hypersensitive to normal hormonal signals.
So it's not that DHT is too high or bad.
Not necessarily, no. It's that your follicles are too weak, too energy depleted, too compromised to handle normal hormonal communication effectively. They overreact.
Like they're stressed out and irritable.
Kinda, yeah.
Huh.
And this concept isn't new to the bioenergetic framework. Dr. Ray Peat talked about this brilliantly years ago. He noted that in hypothyroid states, which are fundamentally states of low energy tissues, become hypersensitive to various normal hormones.
Interesting.
The problem isn't the hormone itself, or even how much is floating around. The problem is the receptor's inability to properly respond because of an underlying energy deficit within the cell.
Okay, like a radio receiver that's faulty because it doesn't have enough power.
That's a great analogy. Like a weakened soldier who can't follow commands because they're starving, not because the command is wrong. Once you fix that energy deficit, once you support the cell's metabolic capacity, that hypersensitivity often just resolves naturally.
And the follicle can handle DHT normally again.
Exactly. The follicle, now energized and robust, responds normally, and the perceived need for artificial blocking just vanishes. This understanding truly empowers us to address the real root cause.
That's a profound shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
It moves us away from blaming a hormone, some external culprit, and towards understanding the fundamental internal cellular environment.
Precisely. It reframes the whole question.
And when we apply this lens, the team at BioSpark Health, particularly drawing from Dr. Presuti's work, reveals what they call the real hair loss equation. It's a surprisingly simple but absolutely devastating cascade of events that, once you get it, it reveals the true mechanism.
Yeah, let's break that down. It's crucial.
Okay, so let's dive into this clear, concise, and profoundly impactful equation. It's a cycle, and once you see it, you really can't unsee it.
Lay it out.
First, we start with low thyroid function. That directly and inevitably translates to low cellular energy. Your thyroid gland produces hormones, T3 and T4 mainly, that are the master regulators of your metabolic rate.
The body's thermostat, basically.
Exactly. They tell every single cell how much energy to produce. If your thyroid is struggling, maybe not enough active hormone, or cells aren't using it well, then every cell, brain, fingertips, hair follicles, they're all running on fumes. Can't make enough ATP.
Okay, step one. Low energy due to low thyroid.
Second, that state of low cellular energy then triggers high-stress hormones, primarily cortisol. Your body is smart, right? Number one priority. Survival.
Right.
When cells aren't getting enough energy, the body perceives this as a threat, an emergency. It goes into primal survival mode, releasing cortisol to mobilize stored energy, breaking down muscle and liver glycogen.
Meant for short bursts, like running from a tiger.
Exactly. But in our modern, chronically stressed, often underfed world, this becomes a chronic destructive state. High cortisol all the time.
Got it. Low energy leads to high stress hormones.
Third, those chronically high stress hormones then lead to vasoconstriction and reduced blood flow to the scalp. Cortisol, trying to prioritize blood flow to vital organs during stress, actively constricts blood vessels, especially to the extremities, skin, scalp.
Like squeezing a garden hose feeding the follicles.
Perfect analogy. This reduced circulation isn't just minor, it's critical deprivation.
So high stress hormones cut off blood flow to the scalp. Makes sense.
Fourth, and as a direct consequence of that reduced blood flow, your hair follicles become starved. They're not getting the oxygen, the vital nutrients, the warmth they desperately need for their high metabolic demands.
They're suffocating, essentially.
They are, in an environment starved of life-giving resources. Without this constant supply line, their ability to divide, make proteins, cycle properly, it's severely compromised.
Okay, poor blood flow starves the follicles.
And finally, step 5. Those starved, suffocating follicles inevitably lead to hair loss. The process of growth simply cannot be maintained under such dire, energy-depleted, nutrient-poor conditions.
The follicles shrink, hair gets thinner.
And eventually, they just stop producing hair altogether.
Yeah.
It's a predictable, devastating cascade.
Wow. Low thyroid, low energy, high cortisol, poor blood flow, starved follicles,
And
they're lost?
That's the equation. It's that simple, that clear, and yet for so many, it's been completely overlooked, buried under layers of just treating symptoms.
Which means?
The profound implications are that unless you address these foundational issues, your thyroid, your cellular energy, the chronic stress hormones, you're merely putting a Band-Aid on a gaping systemic wound.
It totally redefines the problem and points directly to the real solutions.
Exactly, which makes those real-world transformations we see even more powerful.
Absolutely. To truly illustrate the power of this metabolic perspective, let's bring these principles to life. Let's talk about some real people. Take Jennifer, for example. Her story perfectly encapsulates how these bioenergetic principles apply to female pattern hair loss.
Which often gets even less useful advice, right?
Absolutely. It's often misunderstood and dismissed even more than male pattern baldness. Jennifer started experiencing significant distressing hair loss after her second child. Like Michael, she was desperate.
Tried everything.
Everything conventional wisdom suggested,
Mm-hmm.
iron supplements, biotin, expensive treatments, shampoos, nothing worked. Her dermatologist eventually, kind of definitively, diagnosed it as female pattern baldness and suggested minoxidil as her only real option, left her feeling totally hopeless.
That's rough. So what did the metabolic assessment show?
A very familiar pattern emerged when the BioSpark team looked closer. Her morning temperature. Super low, 96.4 degrees Fahrenheit, glaring indicator of a suppressed metabolic rate.
And her diet.
Also a major factor. She was trying to lose baby weight by eating only 1,200 calories a day. Her body was in a constant state of perceived starvation.
Wow, 1,200 calories. That's really low.
Dangerously low for supporting metabolic health. And her TSH levels, that's thyroid-stimulating hormone, while technically normal by lab ranges at 4.2, were functionally indicative of hypothyroidism. Her body was clearly struggling.
So conventional medicine might say fine, but functionally she was struggling.
Precisely. It was a classic picture of systemic metabolic distress. Her body was prioritizing survival over growing hair.
So what was the intervention? What did they do?
It was straightforward but profound. First, they dramatically increased her calories to over 2,000 per day, ensuring sufficient fuel. And this included a significant emphasis on easily digestible carbs, fruits, juice, white rice, crucial for thyroid function.
Getting rid of that starvation signal.
Exactly. Second, they actively supported her thyroid with targeted nutrients. Selenium, vital for converting T4 to active T3. Vitamin A, essential for cell differentiation. Adequate protein.
Okay, fueling and supporting the thyroid.
And third, they worked on managing her stress hormones. Consistent, regular meals every few hours to keep blood sugar stable. Even a small, nutrient-dense bedtime snack to prevent nighttime blood sugar drops and the cortisol spikes that mess up sleep and recovery.
Like that milk and honey trick?
We got it. Simple, but effective.
And the results.
Nothing short of remarkable. Within just 8 weeks, Jennifer started noticing baby hairs everywhere. Those fine new sprouts signaling reawakening.
Wow, 8 weeks.
By 3 months, visible, undeniable regrowth. Enough for her to feel real hope. And after 6 months, her hairdresser, who'd seen the hair loss, was asking what on earth she'd been doing differently.
That's amazing.
And her core body temp, the objective marker, steady at a healthy 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. The conclusion was undeniable. Jennifer didn't need hair treatments. She needed fundamental metabolic support. Her body, once fueled and nourished, healed itself. Hair regrowth was a powerful side effect of restored vitality.
Jennifer's story is fantastic. It really underscores how universal these principles are. Transcends gender. But it's not just women. Sorry. Let me tell you about Tom.
Okay, Tom's story.
Tom was 45. He'd been struggling with a growing bald spot, getting really self-conscious for over a decade.
A long time.
Yeah. And he, too, had tried literally everything. Prescriptions, supplements, topicals.
Yeah.
He was even seriously considering a hair transplant. Expensive, invasive, kind of a last resort.
At his wit's end.
Totally. Feeling resigned to more baldness. Then he turned to the metabolic approach.
And what did his assessment show? But it was similar.
A scenario of profound systemic metabolic distress. A body in chronic survival mode. His morning temp, chilly 97.1 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
way below optimal.
Okay.
His lifestyle choices, driven by popular but metabolically taxing conventional health advice. Strict intermittent fasting, restrictive keto diet, and intense grueling marathon training.
Oof. The trifecta of metabolic stress for many people.
Exactly. All touted for health, but incredibly taxing. His cortisol, through the roof, clear sign of chronic stress. And his free T3, the active thyroid hormone, barely detectable.
Wow, a metabolic disaster, truly.
That's exactly how Dr. Pressedy put it. A picture of metabolic disaster. Body constantly under threat, constantly breaking itself down.
So the intervention must have been a big change for him.
It involved a complete, courageous overhaul of his life, far beyond just diet. He started eating regular, consistent meals with adequate carbs, completely abandoned fasting, which was spiking his stress hormones.
Stopped the starvation signals again.
Right. Exercise routines scaled back significantly, shifted from grueling marathons to gentle walking, light resistance training, reducing that chronic systemic stress.
Smart. Less is more sometimes.
Definitely. Plus, thyroid-supporting nutrients, intense focus on restorative sleep, active stress management techniques, a truly holistic approach aimed at restoring fundamental cellular energy.
Makes sense. Addressing the whole picture.
And the results were just astonishing. Showed the body's incredible capacity to heal. After just 4 months, his wife noticed a fine fuzz on his long bald spot. Tiny, but monumental sign of hope.
The first signs are huge psychologically.
Totally. 6 months later, visible, undeniable coverage. And after a full year, Tom had more hair than he'd had in his 30s, a complete reversal of a decade of decline.
That's incredible. More hair than in his 30s.
Yeah. And his core body temp, the indicator, rock solid 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This wasn't a miracle cure from a bottle. This was profound regrowth stemming directly from restoring his cellular energy.
It's powerful evidence. Hair loss is an energy problem. Energy problems have energy solutions.
Tom's case, like Jennifer's,
Right.
undeniable proof.
Absolutely. And these transformations really highlight how interconnected everything is. Which brings us to another myth.
Right. Let's challenge another deeply ingrained one that causes immense anxiety, especially for men. The idea that high testosterone causes balding.
Yes, the T-level fear.
This narrative has fueled countless men's fears, often leading them down paths that ultimately do far more harm than good to their overall health. But what if it's the exact opposite? What if truly healthy, robust testosterone levels are actually protective against hair loss?
No, there's a thought.
The insights from BioSpark suggest that low thyroid function, that foundation of metabolic health, doesn't lead to high testosterone. It leads to low testosterone and high cortisol.
The stress hormone combination again.
Exactly. This creates a deeply unhealthy hormonal disaster zone that directly triggers and accelerates hair loss. Think about it. Men with genuinely healthy testosterone levels, metabolically robust, well-fueled, supported by optimal thyroid function, they rarely experience premature balding.
Their bodies are thriving, energy is abundant.
Right. All systems, including energetically demanding hair growth, can thrive. It's often the metabolically broken men, chronically stressed, consistently underfed, overexercised, who frequently lose hair young.
Their bodies are signaling profound distress hormonally.
Yeah, and hair loss is just one visible symptom among others, like fatigue, low libido, poor mood.
What's absolutely fascinating here is that the scientific research actually backs this up, even though conventional treatments often ignore or misinterpret it.
How so? What does the research show?
Studies have consistently shown that balding men often present with measurably higher cortisol levels and lower circulating thyroid hormones compared to men of the same age without hair loss.
So it's measurable, not just anecdotal.
Not just anecdotal, it's a physiological difference pointing to a systemic issue. Furthermore, these same balding men frequently exhibit other markers associated with metabolic syndrome: insulin resistance, systemic inflammation, elevated oxidative stress.
All hallmarks of a body struggling with energy and under chronic stress.
Precisely. So if we connect this to the bigger picture of systemic health, it becomes undeniably clear. Hair loss is far from an isolated problem you treat with a cream or a pill.
It's a symptom.
It's a visible, often distressing manifestation of a deeper systemic metabolic imbalance. It tells us the entire organism is struggling with energy production. Stress hormones are rampant, cellular health is compromised.
Which reinforces the idea that true, sustainable regrowth doesn't come from targeting one hormone.
Exactly. It comes from addressing the foundational health of the entire organism. Optimize cellular energy. Restore systemic metabolic health. You create an environment where all tissues, including your demanding hair follicles, can truly thrive.
Which really makes you question the conventional treatments then.
Absolutely. Given this deeper bioenergetic understanding, it becomes critical to scrutinize those conventional treatments that are so widely promoted. Let's start with finasteride.
Okay, the DHT blocker.
Right. Its mechanism sounds scientific enough, blocks 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme converting testosterone to DHT. The profound problem, though, is that this enzyme isn't just in your scalp. It's active throughout your entire body and, crucially, in your brain.
The brain connection again.
Yeah. When you take finasteride, you're not just selectively affecting hair follicles. You are systemically disrupting the production of vital neurosteroids.
Neurosteroids, what do they do?
They're essential hormones made right there in your brain. Critical role in regulating mood, cognitive function, your ability to manage stress.
Cortisol blocking them.
Is precisely why so many men on finasteride report devastating side effects. Depression, crippling anxiety, pervasive brain fog. You are, quite literally, blocking your brain's ability to make its own natural antidepressants and cognitive regulators.
That sounds terrifying.
It is, and perhaps most alarmingly, the sexual side effects can be permanent. Post-finasteride syndrome is very real, devastating, potentially irreversible. Can rob men of libido, erectile function, overall sexual health, sometimes for life.
For life, wow.
Yeah. This raises an incredibly important question. Is destroying your sexual function and potentially your mental well-being truly worth the potential, often temporary, slowing of hair loss?
From a bioenergetic view, probably not.
From a bioenergetic perspective, where overall health and vitality are paramount, the answer is a resounding, unequivocal no. It's a profound act of working against your own fundamental biology.
And if that wasn't enough, minoxidil, the topical stuff.
Right. The story of minoxidil, the active ingredient in Rogaine and others, isn't much better. Most people don't realize it was originally an oral medication for high blood pressure.
A blood pressure drug on your head.
First and foremost, it's a powerful cardiovascular drug, systemic effects designed to lower blood pressure. Applying a drug like that, even topically, and expecting absolutely no systemic issues, well, it's frankly naive.
So what are the side effects?
They directly reflect its systemic nature. Heart palpitations, unexpected chest pain, rapid weight gain from fluid retention, and ironically, for a hair loss treatment, many users report an initial increase in hair shedding when they first start.
More shedding, seriously.
Seriously, you're essentially putting a powerful cardiovascular agent on your head, hoping it only affects your follicles. It just underscores the metabolic perspective again.
How's
When you try to force a localized symptomatic fix without addressing the underlying systemic metabolic dysfunction, you often, predictably, create a host of new, sometimes more severe, problems throughout the body.
another example of ignoring the interconnectedness of the body?
Exactly. Conventional approaches often fail to respect that intricate, beautiful interconnectedness.
Okay, so if blocking hormones and putting heart drugs on your scalp aren't the answer, what is?
The core solution, as the Biospork Health team consistently emphasizes, is both elegant in its simplicity and incredibly effective. Raising your metabolic rate.
Back to metabolism.
Always back to metabolism. When your cells have adequate energy, when your body is thriving, hair growth resumes naturally. No dangerous drugs, no endless expensive topicals, no desperate procedures needed.
And the protocol for doing this, is it complicated?
The most amazing part, the protocol is surprisingly simple, built on fundamental biological principles.
Okay, let's break it down. What are the pillars?
Let's break down this powerful yet simple protocol, starting with the absolute foundation. Pillar 1, calorie adequacy.
Eating enough food. Sounds basic.
Almost too basic, but profoundly important and often overlooked. We see so many struggling with hair loss eating, maybe 1,500 calories a day, sometimes less, believing restriction is healthy.
But their bodies are starving.
Literally starving, chronically underfed, and so are their incredibly metabolically demanding hair follicles. To support robust hair growth, remember, one of the most energetically expensive processes, you must provide sufficient, consistent fuel.
How much are we talking?
For most adults aiming for optimal metabolic health and hair growth, at least 2,000, 2,500 plus calories per day. Depends on the individual, activity levels, etc. It's about nourishing, not restricting. Signaling safety, not famine.
Okay, pillar 1, eat enough. What's next?
Building on that foundation, pillar 2 is prioritizing carbohydrates.
Carbs. Often demonized. This is a big shift for many.
A massive paradigm shift, especially in our low-carb obsessed culture. But here's the scientifically grounded why. Your thyroid, the master gland of metabolism, absolutely requires glucose to produce adequate levels of active T3 hormone.
Needs sugar to work properly.
Essentially, yes. Without enough glucose, your body struggles to convert inactive T4 to the crucial active T3. Without T3, thyroid function tanks, cellular energy production grinds to a halt.
So low-carb diets.
Yeah,
Bad for hair.
absolutely devastating for hair growth and overall metabolic health in the long run. The recommendation, based on these bioenergetic principles, aim for a significant intake. 200-300 grams of easily digestible carbs daily.
Like what kinds of carbs?
Think fruits, fresh fruit juice, white rice, potatoes, root vegetables. These provide the necessary glucose for optimal thyroid function, robust cellular energy, signaling safety and abundance to your body.
Okay, pillar 1, calories. Pillar 2, carbs. What's pillar 3?
Next, pillar 3 focuses on managing stress hormones. We've talked about cortisol's destructive role, right?
Yeah, toxic to follicles.
Absolutely toxic.
Yeah.
Contributes to vasoconstriction, reduces nutrient delivery, creates inflammation, literally chokes your follicles. The good news, managing stress hormones isn't about eliminating all stress impossible.
So what does it involve?
Practical daily strategies. Eating regular meals every few hours keeps blood sugar stable, prevents cortisol release from hunger. Adequate restorative sleep, non-negotiable for repair and regeneration.
And exercise.
Avoiding excessive strenuous exercise, especially chronic cardio or intense workouts that leave you drained. Those spike cortisol significantly.
Less intense is better here.
Definitely. And a simple, effective strategy. That bedtime snack of milk and honey provides glucose, amino acids, stabilizes blood sugar overnight, supports serotonin, lowers nighttime cortisol. True hair growth fuel.
Got it. Manage stress hormones. What's the last pillar?
And finally, pillar 4 is specific nutrients. While a robust, high-functioning metabolism is the non-negotiable foundation, certain micronutrients play vital supportive roles.
Okay, so supplements can help, but only after the foundation is there.
Exactly. We're talking key players like zinc critical for protein synthesis, cell division, selenium essential for enzymes converting T4 to T3, vitamin A crucial for cell differentiation, follicle health, vitamin D role in follicle cycling, immune modulation, B vitamins like biotin and B5 involved in energy metabolism, keratin production.
So these are important.
They are, but UT, and this is the crucial caveat, these nutrients only work effectively, can only be properly absorbed and utilized when your underlying metabolism is functioning optimally.
The leaky bucket analogy.
Precisely. Taking a handful of expensive supplements while your thyroid is suppressed and cells are starved, this is like pouring water into a bucket with holes. Patch the holes first. Fix the metabolic dysfunction, the energy deficit.
Then the nutrients can actually work.
Then these supportive nutrients can truly enhance and accelerate regrowth, powerful synergistic agents. But they can never compensate for a broken metabolism.
Makes total sense. Fix the engine before adding high-octane fuel.
Perfect analogy.
Now, let's delve a bit deeper into some specific considerations.
Yeah.
You mentioned women often face unique challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. And frankly, they often receive even less accurate information about hair loss than men. The usual refrains. It's hormonal, it's genetic, try Rogaine, all inadequate, often misleading, or just wrong from a bioenergetic view.
Why are women particularly susceptible?
It's often a complex mix of modern lifestyle factors. Constant societal pressure to diet, restrict calories, often paired with an obsession with chronic cardio, the pervasive stress of modern life, widespread use of birth control pills, which can disrupt hormones, deplete nutrients, suppress metabolism.
Wow, a perfect storm.
It really can be. All these factors conspire, often silently, to suppress thyroid function, creating fertile ground for hair loss.
So the solution for women is fundamentally the same. Support metabolism.
Fundamentally, yes. But there's an important nuance. Women often need even more carbohydrate support than men because of monthly hormonal fluctuations. For instance, during the luteal phase after ovulation, before your period, the body's metabolic demands increase significantly. Carb needs can go up by maybe 300 calories daily just to meet demands, prevent blood sugar drops, mitigate cortisol spikes.
That's fascinating. Need more fuel at certain times.
Exactly. We frequently see this pattern. Women on strict keto or low carb for years, convinced they're eating perfectly by conventional standards, come to BioSpark experiencing massive, heartbreaking hair loss.
And the recovery.
It begins simply by eating adequately again, embracing nourishing foods. Within weeks, the shedding stops. Within months, regrowth begins. It's a powerful demonstration. It's about consistent energy availability, robust metabolic health, not vague hormones or unchangeable genetics.
Really powerful. And you mentioned the scalp environment earlier. How does energy deficit impact that directly?
Great question. When metabolism is low, the body prioritizes core functions, right? Blood flow to extremities, including the scalp, decreases significantly.
The vasoconstriction from cortisol.
Partly that, but also just lower overall energy output. Your follicles are then literally suffocating from a chronic lack of oxygen and vital nutrients. This is why a simple scalp massage might offer temporary relief or slight growth. It artificially boosts blood flow temporarily.
But it's a Band-Aid.
It's a total Band-Aid on a metabolic wound, as the BioSpark team would say. Doesn't address the underlying systemic issue.
So the real fix for scalp health
Is addressing the root cause. Raising your core body temperature to a healthy, consistent 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When your metabolism hums at optimal temp, blood flow is robust everywhere, including the scalp. Follicles naturally get the oxygen, nutrients, warmth they need to thrive, creates an internal environment where hair can flourish.
And what about inflammation on the scalp? Redness, irritation, dandruff.
Huge contributor to hair loss. And again, it comes back to energy. When cells don't have enough ATP, they struggle to maintain themselves. They become inflamed, damaged, dysfunctional. Creates a toxic, hostile environment for delicate follicles.
But anti-inflammatory shampoos or drugs aren't the real answer.
They only suppress symptoms, often with side effects, while the underlying cellular dysfunction persists. The genuine, sustainable solution is supporting cellular energy production. When cells have adequate ATP, they can maintain themselves, repair damage, naturally reduce inflammation without external suppression.
Creates a truly healthy regenerative environment.
Exactly, where robust hair growth can happen naturally.
Okay, so given all this focus on metabolism, how should we think about things like supplements and hair transplants?
Good question. Let's frame those properly. Transplants first. Yes, cosmetically they can work. Relocating follicles can give an appearance of fuller hair.
But
And this is critical. Without addressing the underlying metabolic dysfunction that caused the initial loss, you'll simply continue to lose your native existing hair in the surrounding areas.
so the transplanted hair stays, but the original hair keeps falling out.
Often, yes. The overall density continues to decline. It's truly like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic instead of patching the hole. A temporary aesthetic solution, maybe, but not a cure for the underlying metabolic issue.
Okay, and the supplement industry, all those pills and potions.
Oh, the massive, ever-growing supplement industry, constantly pushing new miracle cures. Biotin, saw palmetto, exotic extracts. They want you to believe that's the magic bullet.
But we know better now.
We do. If your thyroid isn't working optimally, if your cells can't produce fundamental energy ATP, then no supplement, no matter how expensive or hyped, will save your hair long term. It's like trying to water a wilting plant in parched desert soil. Need a healthy ecosystem first.
The foundation must be laid.
Absolutely. That being said, once the metabolic foundation is established, body producing ample energy, thyroid humming, certain nutrients can become very important, powerfully supportive.
Like which ones?
For example, gelatin or collagen, rich in glycine, prolining, crucial building blocks for strong hair structure, healthy connective tissue. Vitamin E, powerful antioxidant, protects follicles from oxidative stress. Magnesium, essential cofactor in hundreds of enzymatic reactions, supports processes crucial for hair growth.
So they help once the system is working.
Exactly, but the absolute non-negotiable foundation always remains. Optimal metabolic rate, robust cellular energy, healthy thyroid function. These nutrients are then powerful synergistic agents, accelerating and enhancing regrowth. But they can never compensate for a broken metabolism. They're the icing, not the cake.
Got it. Now let's touch on some crucial caveats.
Yeah.
Things people might be doing that are actively harming their hair metabolically, like crash dieting.
Oh, crash dieting. Hands down one of the worst things you can do for your hair and often for your overall health.
Why is it so bad from this perspective?
When you severely restrict calories, your body doesn't just lose weight, it immediately perceives a profound state of starvation. Life-threatening famine goes into deep survival mode. And as we established,
Hair growth is not a priority in survival mode.
not at all. Energetically expensive stops almost immediately.
But people don't always connect it, right? Because of the delay.
Exactly. That's what confuses people. You start a strict diet in January, feel good, disciplined, pounds coming off. Then, 2 or 3 months later, March or April, hair starts falling out in clumps.
And they blame something else.
Right. Not the diet from months ago, but your follicles have a precise biological memory. They know exactly when you started starving them. That 2 to 3 month delay is just the time it takes for hair already in the growth cycle to transition to resting phase and shed. telogen effluvium,
A delayed but direct consequence of metabolic stress.
undeniable consequence of severe energy deprivation.
And the role of exercise is also misunderstood. Pushing too hard can be bad.
Equally misunderstood, often pushed to extremes that are profoundly counterproductive for metabolic health and thus for hair growth. Chronic cardio, excessive HIIT, grueling CrossFit, lauded for fitness but incredibly taxing.
So.
This kind of hardcore, sustained training chronically elevates cortisol stress hormone and actively suppresses thyroid function. The paradox. We see so many outwardly fit people lean, strong, rigorous routines, suffering significant hair loss, fatigue, low libido, because they are, in fact, metabolically broken underneath.
Body in constant perceived threat.
Constant threat, burning through resources, diverting them from restorative functions like hair growth.
So what kind of exercise is actually supportive?
For optimal hair health and overall health, gentle, supportive movement is far more beneficial. Regular walking, mindful yoga, moderate light resistance training. These circulate blood, build resilient muscle, reduce stress without creating a huge metabolic burden or triggering chronic cortisol.
They support rather than deplete.
Exactly. That hardcore training, the kind leaving you drained, sore, constantly hungry, it can literally cause hair to fall out because your body simply can't afford to grow it. Unsustainable.
And finally, you mentioned ignored research about the thyroid connection.
Yeah, it's frustrating. The extensive, well-documented connection between thyroid function and hair loss is profound, yet consistently ignored by much of conventional medicine.
Even subclinical hypothyroidism.
Numerous studies highlight that even subclinical hypothyroidism, where TSH might be technically normal by lab ranges but functionally low, with symptoms is strongly associated with hair loss, fatigue, weight gain, cold intolerance. When thyroid function is properly optimized through comprehensive metabolic support, not just TSH management, hair growth often improves dramatically, miraculously sometimes.
Why is it ignored?
The critique here is that the conventional establishment often prefers selling expensive drugs, complex treatments, fits the pharmaceutical model, rather than advising simple, foundational metabolic support.
Like eating breakfast or checking your temperature?
Exactly. Simple, low-cost, incredibly impactful interventions that support thyroid and cellular energy. But they don't generate pharma profits. Requires a paradigm shift from doctors and patients. It's a systemic oversight costing people not just hair, but vitality, energy, quality of life.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot. Peeled back the myths, revealed the bioenergetic truth, but what can people actually do about it? Starting today, let's give them an action plan.
Let's do it. Practical, actionable steps for metabolic hair health. Empowering people to take control.
Okay, step 1. Take your morning temperature, your daily metabolic barometer. Under the tongue, 10 full minutes first thing before getting up, talking, eating, drinking.
Right. If it's consistently below 97.8 Fahrenheit, that's your signal. Metabolism needs support. Address that first. Your personal metabolic report card.
Step 2. Eat breakfast within 30 minutes of waking. Non-negotiable. Follicles need immediate fuel. Signals resources are abundant.
Make sure it's balanced. Protein, easily digestible carbs, some saturated fat, eggs, fruit, butter, Greek yogurt, honey, collagen. Tells your body it's not in survival mode, provides immediate energy.
Step 3. Eat regular meals every 3-4 hours. Consistency is key. Stable blood sugar means stable hormones. Happy, nourished follicles, not assaulted by cortisol spikes.
Don't let yourself get truly hungry. Hunger equals stress hormones. Keep that metabolic engine gently humming all day. Steady energy supply.
Step 4. Add gelatin or collagen to your diet. Easy to do. Bone broth, collagen powder, and coffee or juice. Homemade jello with real fruit juice.
Provides crucial amino acids. Glycine, proline, vital building blocks for strong hair, skin, connective tissue.
Step 5. Actively manage your stress, not just woo-woo advice. Fundamental biology. Cortisol kills follicles, suppresses metabolism.
So whatever helps you relax and de-stress, meditation, time with loved ones, hobbies, nature walks, unclugging, make more time for it. Prioritize it. Not a luxury. It's vital for hair and well-being.
Okay, those are great practical steps. What about timelines? What can people realistically expect?
Good question. Important to have realistic, hopeful expectations. This is internal healing, regeneration, not an overnight fix. First month of consistent metabolic support. Excessive shedding should slow down, eventually stop.
That alone is huge relief.
Huge. Months 2 to 3, expect new baby hairs, fine, delicate sprouts, follicles reawakening, actively growing again.
Visible signs of life.
Exactly. Between months 4 and 6, visible, tangible regrowth, increased density. Enough for you or your hairdresser to notice a significant difference.
Getting exciting now.
And by 6 to 12 months, truly significant improvement. Overall density, texture, health, often surpassing what you thought possible.
But consistency is key.
Crucial factor for success. Cannot be overstated. Not a diet you follow Monfres, then abandon. No skipping meals. No yo-yoing between restriction and binging.
Why is consistency so important?
Your follicles, your whole body craves steady, consistent energy availability and metabolic support. Create a continuous, unwavering environment of nourishment, metabolic vitality. Allow your incredible biology to do what it's naturally designed to do. Grow healthy, vibrant hair.
That's incredibly empowering. So let's bring it all back to the core message, your hair loss.
No.
It's not inevitable genetic destiny, not a life sentence, not just a DHT problem needing harmful blocking.
At its heart, it's an energy problem, a signal of metabolic stress.
And thankfully, energy problems have elegant biological energy solutions. You have the inherent power to break this pattern just by understanding and supporting your metabolism.
Absolutely.
We've explored the perils of conventional treatments, blocking essential hormones with finasteride, using cardiovascular drugs like minoxidil topically, devastating side effects often, while failing to address the root cause.
Time to stop accepting hair loss as normal or unavoidable.
It's time to start supporting your metabolism. Give your body consistent energy, nourishment, and like countless people have shown, watch not just your hair, but your entire life begin to transform.
And if you're truly ready to stop the hair loss insanity, genuinely address the real cause, the dedicated team at BioSpark Health has specialized resources. Our Energy Essentials mini course gives foundational principles impacting hair growth. Essential knowledge to start.
Good starting point.
For comprehensive, structured support, clear protocols. Our Bioenergetic Reset program offers specific strategies for profound hair regrowth, emphasizes internal healing, restoring overall metabolic health.
And for more complex cases.
For multifactorial situations or those needing personalized attention, our one-on-one coaching provides individualized guidance. Navigate unique challenges, accelerate progress. As Dr. Presciutti reminds us, our experienced research team has helped thousands restore hair by restoring metabolism, choosing nourishment over restriction, working with biology, not against it. Your hair is waiting to grow. Your follicles are waiting for energy. Your metabolism is waiting for support. Give it what it needs and watch the transformation begin.
Well said. And next week on The Deep Dive, something equally important, often just as misunderstood, teeth and oral health through the metabolic lens.
Ooh, interesting. What will we cover?
We'll explore why cavities aren't just about sugar, but mineral metabolism, why root canals might be harming your health in ways you never imagined, and why everything your dentist told you about fluoride might be completely backwards.
Can't wait for that one. Okay, before we go, please remember, all information shared here is for educational purposes only.
For individualized approaches, making changes to your health regimen, always work closely with a qualified healthcare provider who truly understands this crucial metabolism-hair connection. We'll see you next time.